Thank you for coming to Painted by. I'm Amy, and today I'm going to show you guys how to paint a cute little smiley cloud in watercolor. Let's talk about our supplies. We are going to need our watercolor paper. Okay, here's my blank paper. I'm going to do a little sketching, so I need a pencil, have a black marker, my paintbrush. Today I'm going to use a pointy paintbrush. It's called a round tip. Our watercolor, some water, and our paper towel, okay? So with my projects, I always tape them down just so that the water paper doesn't warp as we're painting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch out the cloud. And that's all I'm going to sketch out right now. I'm going to freehand everything else because I want it to be organic and I want it to look like how it's going to look like when I do it. All right. Feel free to stop the video at any time and get any supplies you need or take a little bit more time. Okay, it's my little eraser. I'll fix that area. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you can watercolor right on top of this pencil, but I don't really want it to show through my painting, so I'm just gonna go over it really quick with an eraser. I can still see it, but then it won't pop through the watercolor as much, okay? All right, first we are going to grab blue. Now my cloud's gonna be blue, but your cloud can be any color you want it to be today. I'm gonna get some of my brush wet and I'm gonna get lots of color on my brush, okay? And I'm only gonna go on the outline of these bumps right now. I'm not gonna paint it in. I'm not gonna paint it inside. And I'm gonna work very quickly because when I'm done outlining the bumps, I'm gonna rinse my brush off and get clear water, and I'm gonna show you the magic of watercolor. Got it? Here we go. Remember to work as quick as you can. Okay, rinse, rinse, rinse. I have lots of water on my brush, and I'm just gonna touch the tip of that blue. Rinse, 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 and do it again, all the way around. The reason why I'm doing this is I want some bleeding action to go on, and I want the middle of my cloud to be clear. I want it to be white. I'm just going to bring some of that clear cloud, that clear water around so the whole cloud is wet, but there's only color on the outside. Look how beautiful that is. This is why I love watercolor. All right, now we're going to do the raindrops while the cloud itself dries. So I'm going to get blue mixed with a little bit of black for my raindrops. And we have a round tip brush right now, which is going to be perfect because when I'm making the raindrops, I want the raindrop. Here's my little scratch paper right here. I want to press my brush down a little bit to give me a raindrop. Do you see that? I'm not going to press it down all the way. That's going to be a huge raindrop. So I'm just going to press it down, boop, boop, just like that, okay? And then when I do the long line, I'm going to press my brush down as lightly as I can to drag that line down, okay? It's just gonna give us a nice thin line. Got it? Okay. Wherever you want to put these raindrops is exactly where they're supposed to go. I'm gonna do bigger ones, littler ones. Some of them are going to be a little bit more blue. Some of them are going to be a little bit more gray. We want variation in our paintings, which means we want things to look different. We don't want everything to be the same. I want a big old one right here. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to do another big one. Love it. All of your lines don't need to lead to a raindrop. They can just be a line down the paper. So on some of my raindrops, I'm going to get more blue on my brush, pretty strong on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of outline it on the side. Not all of my raindrops, just a couple. Again, just to give the painting more variation, okay? Okay, I'm loving how that's going to look. So right now, I want to do a little sun right here. So I'm going to grab yellow. I'm just going to have it poke out of the sun. I'm not going to have it go into the cloud, but if yours does, then that's what it's going to do, and it's going to be beautiful. I love it. Do you know what I'm going to do to add some fun little watercolor effect? I'm going to clear off my brush and get some clean water. And I'm just going to dab a tiny dab of clean water right here. And it's going to make my yellow do something really fun when it dries. My cloud is a little bit wet, and I want to paint on top of this with it dry. So that is called wet on dry when I paint. But I need it to dry a little bit more because it's still a little bit damp. So I'm going to grab a thick paper. You could get a hair dryer, whatever you want, and I'm just going to wave it back and forth and get it to dry a little bit quicker. All right, I'm going to do some cute rosy cheeks on my cloud. I'm going to get an orangey pink color, okay? If you don't have an orangey pink color, go ahead and get an orange and go ahead and get a pink, mix it together. All right, I like that. So I think I'm going to have my cheek be here and here. Just to add a little bit more of that same peach color, I'm going to draw a cute little tongue sticking out. Just a cute little bump there. All right, we let it dry all the way. I'm going to fan it again. Once it's dry, then we can take the tape off. Now here at Painted By, one thing you do when you're done with your masterpiece is you always sign it. You can do your initials, your first name, your last name. I'm going to go ahead and sign my first name. Now everyone knows this is Painted by Amy. How does yours look? I hope it looks different because paintings are supposed to look different. Everybody has their own touch. Look at the first time I painted this. And now look at that time. They're different, but they're the same and they're both beautiful. I'm so glad you came to join us. Come by again and let's paint something new.